renewal or regeneration of people. Like, so that's like the subset of belief that Eon is specifically critiquing, which is fair. That's fine, you know. Anyway, I got a jet. I'm gonna head home, but good listening to you guys today. See you.
All right, cool. No problem. Oh, uh, well, I'm an atheist. Does anybody want to try to convince me to go to God? Let's see if anyone bites. Oh,
No, I'm on too. But I enjoy these discussions that where be talking about the Bible and dogma and stuff like that because I used to be a Christian, so I remember a lot of what I studied then, the verses and stuff. It's interesting, just to have conversations about the belief and what you believe and why and uh, how you like interpret different verses and stuff like that. I still enjoy the conversation though.
yeah, I like coming on here and talking. I just talk. I'm not like a short or I don't have an end goal. I just like to talk and see what other people feel about stuff. You know,
Mm-hmm.
it's
Because sometimes in these discussions, like in here or some of the other rooms, they'll be just going over Bible verses, and they'll be talking, well, what does it mean, or something like that, and this other verse says something else, but then you might could find another verse that would make it clearer, what the other because you weren't sure about the other two verses, but this one kind of clears it up for you, and you understand it better.
Yeah. And interpretation, stuff like that, yeah. I know what you're talking about. Uh oh. Did I. Hold on. Yeah, I had to switch my mic, sorry. Do I sound better like I sound better than I sounded before?
I'm not sure how you sounded before.
Oh. But you couldn't really tell the difference then, obviously. It's okay. So you're an atheist too?
Yeah.
Okay, cool.
Well, with me, I'm 68 years old. I used to be a believer in my early 20s back in the 70s, right? But just things happen, and it's hard to express really. I mean, it wasn't no one trying to talk me out of religion, or I heard all this stuff from science and stuff like that. So there wasn't no internet back then, so I wasn't exposed to all the stuff that they have now, right?
Yeah.
But there was something going on, and I could feel my faith slowly leaving me. I really noticed it when I'd be witnessing to somebody. Like we used to go out in pairs, right? And talk, witnessing about our lives and how our lives have changed, since coming to the church. And then it's like I'm hearing myself talk, and it's like I'm not. I don't sound convinced anymore, or something. And I'm sure other people would have picked that up. So I'm trying to figure out what's going on.
You're like
And
unconvinced yourself by what you say. I mean, it's some
I'm
kind of
not sure
weird.
because see,
Yeah, that's what it sounds like.
because see, when I was convinced. I truly believe God was real. He was active in my life. Christ was my Savior. I had no problems with the Bible. Um, well, see, I didn't know that much about it then either, but it worked. It uh, I believe, like I said, I believed he was real and all that. I was convinced. Based on the evidence at that time. Like I said, I was only in my early 20s. But my
Yeah, like
my
over.
life had changed when I started accepting God as my, God and all that, and started going to church and trusting in Him to help me, right? And
Yeah.
my life changed. I quit drinking. I quit smoking. Quit going out to the bars. A lot of things changed about me, and I was happy. I really was happy with my life, how it had turned out. And other people noticed it too. Like people I worked with, they said, "You change." They noticed a change, and they asked me, and I told them, I said, "Well, I've started going to church and stuff. Turning my life around." And then somewhere along the way, something happened, and I can't quite put my finger on it.
It stops being
And
convincing. You think?
huh?
You think it stops being convincing somehow?
I'm not sure what it was. I mean, there wasn't something that jumped out at me and said, "Okay, you need to look at this. Really think about what you believe." It was just, it's hard to think about it now or remember for sure because I mean that was like 40 years ago. But something was changing, and I figured, well, maybe I'm missing something because see, I've been in all kind of Bible studies and everything. They were great. Learning more and stuff, and um, so I left a Southern Baptist church and went to a Seventh Day Adventist church for a while. That didn't work. Then I went to a Word church, which was like a Pentecostal type thing for a while, and it just kept slipping away from me, and I didn't want it to go because I was happy, you know,
Did you
with
go
my
to
life.
Did you go to any
Huh?
churches that Did you go to any churches that handled snakes? The snake handler churches and or
Oh
anything?
no, it wasn't that extreme. It was like where they do tongues and slain in the spirit and stuff like that, but nothing really far out like snake handling. No, no, definitely not.
Well, speaking in tongues is far out though. You can learn that, by the way. You know that, right?
Yeah, yeah, oh yeah.
Yeah.
Um, but it was like maybe there was a teaching or something
It just snapped in your
that
head and just.
was missing or something. I don't know what it was. It's really hard to put
Did
my
you
finger
even
on.
notice the change?
Who me?
Yeah. Did you notice it, or
I
did it just?
started. Yeah, I started noticing it. It's like I just didn't feel as happy as I was in my belief, or as convinced as I was, and I don't know because I wasn't real big on prayer, right? The way I looked at it was like God would be with me through my life, and He knows what I'm going through, and places where I might need some help and where I could have prayed about it. But instead, I looked at it like He will give me the strength to make it through whatever comes my way. That's kind of how I looked at it. See that didn't change, for a long time. It seemed like that kind of remained while the other stuff just kind of slipped away, and I tried to hang on to it, but I couldn't. And then finally,
Yeah.
over a period of years, it was like gone.
I
I
get
can't
that.
explain it. I really can't. Like I said, it was 40 years ago.
Well, when you did go to those churches, did you feel the exuberance everybody else did?
Huh?
Like when they sang and stuff, did you like sing along or I mean, were you into it? Like into it?
Oh, church?
Like singing along with the songs and stuff like that?
Oh, yeah. I was even in the choir.
Oh,
I was a
okay.
tenor.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, I mean, I was like in it full,
That's interesting.
I like church 3 or 4 days a week, right?
Wow.
No problem. I loved it. I loved going. I loved learning about things and getting new insights on God and how He helps people and just learning about Him, right?
Yeah.
But something, I don't know. But see, now, after all these years and other stuff I've learned and all, I can't go back. Not and be honest about it. I can't. I can't fake it till you make it, or stuff like that.
Yeah,
Or
that doesn't work. Fake it till make it doesn't even work. So, well, I mean, Pat, there are preachers out there that don't believe, but I don't. I'm not sure how good whether it's working for them. That's wow. That would be hard to do.
yeah, because I mean, I look at it like if I went back to church, it wouldn't be sincere. right? And if God really did exist, he would see what I'm doing. I don't think he'd be too crazy about that, Like I'm going into church pretending, right? And he
Yeah,
knows it.
that.
He's
Yeah.
not going to be real happy about that,
There are a
right?
lot of people that do that though. And
Yeah, yeah, but I couldn't do it, and be honest, right?
that's the whole
So
thing about Pascal's wage rule. You can either
yeah,
believe, yeah.
yeah, same thing. Yeah. Well, I mean, pretty much I see it that way. But when you have that faith and you're convinced of that God is real and Christ is real and stuff you read in the Gospels is real and true and all that, it's like a whole different thing. You're different. Like I said, my life changed, turned around for the better when I was going to church. I mean, it's I didn't want to lose that, but it slowly slipped away. I think I prayed more during that time than any other times,
Well,
trying to go help me, through
while
this.
you were questioning your faith.
I wasn't, I wasn't questioning it because what I knew of the Bible and knew of, well, the dogma or whatever, I agreed with. I accepted it, but something changed, and I just can't I couldn't put my finger on it really.
It sounds
That's
like.
why I started. That's why I started going to other churches, other denominations, to see if there was something I was missing, and maybe I could find it there
Well,
that would help.
that process was called questioning your faith. Yeah, you were doing that. That's what you were doing while you were going under other churches and stuff. That's what that's called, dude. I
Oh,
promise.
okay. Yeah, I see what you mean. I just can't remember like specific questions I might have had. So yeah, I can kind of see where you come
Yeah,
from
you don't have to have questions in mind to be
there. Yeah,
questioning.
but like you can run into Christians and talk to Christians here and about they're convinced, and I can understand that. I was there, and I know how much it means to you, and how important your faith in God is. But
Oh,
it's just not there anymore.
well, you shouldn't try to force it on them like it doesn't exist, or I don't know. I don't know if I've ever said God doesn't exist on this server. I mean, I'd have to talk to the people I've talked to, and I don't remember most of them. I just have a cover. I don't remember what names are that well, and I don't add friends or anything. Maybe I should though.
Oh,
Yeah,
but but sometimes when we're talking about like just the Bible and verses and stories and stuff, I enjoy that because sometimes I can remember back on stuff that I remember from when I was studying the Bible and just kind of throw them in, not to sidetrack the conversation, but to maybe throw in something that someone might go, "Oh yeah, let me think about that."
yeah.
And sometimes I learn some different things. It's I like those kind of conversations. But you run into a lot of other conversations, and it goes both ways. Atheists and some Christians they're like out for blood. Ah.
They like to fight. That's what it is. They try to get
Yeah,
owned, and it's. I barely know what an own is. That's how I am. I don't do that. I just like having conversations.
yeah. I think the only thing that gets me is, I mean, that'll get me going is when you start talking about science. Because a lot of people have different views about science, and you know, well, you've heard all that.
It's a different model. It's not exact. It's not supposed. I don't think it's supposed to be exact, and I'm not sure if we'll ever know everything. But
Yeah. Well,
uh,
and you notice the difference. Some Christians don't really want to accept science, a lot certain sciences, because it disagrees with what they believe, right?
like when it comes
And
to
then
the
other
age of the
people,
Earth.
and then other people, they accept science, and they can make it work. Somehow, like you have older creationists, and then you have younger creationists. And like when you're an older
Yeah.
creationist, you can pretty much bring in, and accept a lot of the science that's out there.
Okay.
But of
There are
course,
some.
you have some
Sorry.
differences of opinion with it, though. But it's like it's easier for an older creationist to accept science than it is for younger creationists. And a lot of Christians are scientists, PhDs and all that, and they've added a lot of stuff to all kind of different sciences. They study it and things, and some of them come up
Alright,
with these
let's
theories
wanna
that
let
no one
these
else
other
thought
people
of, and they
talk,
work.
so. Alright, some other people have gotten in and they might want to talk, so.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Does anyone else want to talk? A couple of people.
I just want to say that Jesus Christ is God. That's all I wanted to say today.
Well, some people will
Cool.
take you to task on that.
Oh, what do you mean some
won't.
people? Would you say it? Would you say some people? But would you also say like a big portion of people, right?
Oh,
No,
I
I
wouldn't
mean,
take it to task.
Like 2 billion plus people think that he is God. A 2,000-year-old Jewish like preacher guy, carpenter dude. They all think he's God and like some divine being. You don't think that's a little like?
They can do magic and stuff, yeah.
Well, it's like we're
magic.
some people get into
Wow.
discussions about the Trinity, right? You have God the Father, God the Son, God the Holy
Technically,
Ghost.
it is magic.
They're separate, but they're still one. And sometimes people will say, well, Christ was 100% God while he was here on the earth, but he left part of his power.
Okay,
He
let's.
didn't have it all.
I'm gonna end it abruptly.
Partly human.
Bye.
He was human as well.